Okay, so notice again that we use a class to get the ID's name and the grade, right? And that's easy because that's very helpful because using classes. If you don't use classes, if I ask you to create parallel arrays, then you will have to create 3 of them for each of those properties. Okay, so you would kind of like do what you did for each of the students here for parallel arrays. So you would do like, and let me just do it down here. So that means you have to do one for so string. This is the student name, so you can say names of all the students. And again, we just do 3. So new string of 3. Then we need the integer for the ID. 3 IDs. And then the grade for those 3 grade. And so this are 3 that's exactly the same. Again, you can put a variable name here if you want. Just put another integer called max and put that in here. Okay. And so now you can go ahead and do this way, because this is like the hard way, right? It's still better than creating 3 variable names for those 3 people. But you can do it this way and put the names in here. Okay, that's one way to do it. You can do it 3 times, which is kind of a lot. Okay. And then the second one, the end here, you could do that, or you could do a shortcut by doing this way. I'll leave that here. I was just going to comment that out. You can do it this way. Use that curly braces. And then the ID would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, for example. So it's much shorter this way. So you don't have to like do it 2 times, 3, 4 different lines. And same thing with the grade. So you can say, you can initialize it at the same time. You can just initialize that and save that, right? Yeah. And then and do it later. But it's easier just to go and do it right away. So char grade equals, and then here, curly, single quotes, A, B, C. So we got them. So 3 arrays, names, ID, and grade, and they are parallel because they match exactly at the index number. 0 refers to Joe, 1 Mary, and 2 is Clark, and so on. And then now you can use for loops for that. So you can do something like this also. Int the index of I starting from 0, I to the max of either one of those. It doesn't matter which one because they're parallel. So you can pick and choose. You can use the name, that length, this time of 3 in this case, and then plus that, and then we'll print them out, just like above here. And I'm just going to copy and paste it down here. Okay. So, right, the ID will be just ID of I. Okay, renames of I. It should be IDs, right? Yeah. But you get the point, right? So grade of I. Okay, so here I don't have to worry about which one. I can choose either one, as long as they have the same length and they share the same index. So therefore, it works just as fine. And I'll put another system up here, just to show that this is the parallel array. And so these are the parallel arrays down here. Okay? So notice you can do it this way, or you can use one object of the class to do it that way. And this is much easier because I can keep adding more properties to the student, get the address, the phone number, and the school and so forth, without even adding anything more, right? But if you do this way, add another array for each of those. Okay? So this are called parallel arrays when the arrays are exactly have the same length. You can also have non-even size array also. So you could have one that has, 3, and then another has 10 and 3 and 4 and so on. And a two-dimensional array will do that later. And those are called the jagged arrays because it's not even now. Okay, you can have that as well. Yeah, we'll talk about that next time. Alright, so and then searching through the array is just that again, use a for loop. You loop through the array, each of those, and you compare the value inside that array at that index position. Okay, so you know how to print data out. You should be able to compare data as well. I can compare the index of I and check the ID if it's the ID of 1, 2, 3 or not. If it's not, then do something about it, right? Or what are we going to do with that, and so on. So that's why it's important that we learn how to use all these for loops first before we do the arrays. And so that's that. Okay, any questions for what we've done so far before I go and talk about the project, the mini project?